We do have one other conference championship game on Friday night, and no, it's not Nebraska-Rutgers. We had the Conference USA Championship, 7 Eastern on CBS Sports Network at BetMGM. UAB is a 4.5-point underdog at Marshall, over under 42.5. I feel like I haven't seen either of these two teams play in months. The only team they've played in like 2 months is Rice. They've each played Rice. UAB barely beat Rice, and Marshall lost 20-0 as 3-touchdown underdog. So I don't know if that was rust or what. The defensive numbers look elite for both teams, but then I look at Marshall. They did shut down App State, but they played Eastern Kentucky, Western Kentucky, La Tech, FAU, UMass, Middle Tennessee. I mean, just atrocious offenses. UAB has played Central Arkansas, Miami early in the year. I mean, they gave up a lot of points to each. They over 30 to each. But then they played South Alabama, UTSA, Western Kentucky, La Tech, and then Rice.
Your favorite team.
And then they played ULL. We're going to get to La Tech for the first bowl preview on Sunday night. They played ULL and did a good job on that offense. So that's one data point. But I mean, both of these teams have played so many bad teams. I don't have a great feel on this one. My initial look was going to be under. I think this one could be ugly, but the total came out really sharp, and it's 40. I think this opened at 41. Like, it opened at 41.5. It's come up to 43. I thought we were maybe going to get like a soft opener.
Right.
So what do you catch us up here and lead us to a winner?
You would expect an under here with considering the amount of time since the teams have played. Their only data point is Rice. UAB had a 42-day layoff between La Tech on Halloween to the Rice win, and maybe the rust is there in the first quarter, maybe worth a first half under. But I mean, I've been burnt by this UAB team before when Lucerno came in as a backup quarterback and decided to throw for like 400 yards and 4 touchdowns as a backup that we never even heard of. So it's tough to throw slander around in this game because I love both Bill Clark and Doc Holliday. These are 2 coaches that I respect immensely. We'll have their teams ready. We know that Bill Clark won us a whole big bet winning this conference 2 years ago. And he was in, doing his presser earlier this week. And he says that all injuries that he had, which included running back Spencer Brown, the workhorse of the running back stable for UAB, all players that are injured and had COVID-19 are all returning. They are 100% healthy, ready to go. That's a big deal for UAB. They had a 42-day layoff, like I said, between La Tech and Rice. And Clark mentioned that this team is heavily motivated after what happened in the Louisiana and La Tech game. So if you dig deep into those box scores, UAB had a 63% post-game win expectancy against Louisiana. They should have beat ULL, Billy Napier. And they had a higher post-game win expectancy against La Tech. And so they lost 2 games that they shouldn't have. They still win the division. They're able to play in this game, but they are heavily motivated by the fact that they feel that they have 2 losses that were taken away from them. Now, Tyler Johnson III is expected to start. He could split time with Lucerno. Rice, was the first team, believe it or not. Rice was the first team to score 20 against Marshall this season. That's crazy. Now, we talked about how bad Buffalo's strength of schedule is at 140. Marshall's is 130th. So you hear, Stuck rattle off those teams. It's pretty bad. And against Rice, I went back and watched the tape of all of Grant Wells' interceptions, all 5 of them. I mean, it was ugly. The Wells INTs, the first one was a deep throw into triple coverage, no receiver. He missed a wide receiver by 5 feet on one. Interception number 3 was directly at a Rice defensive back as a wide receiver, just like took off on a 40-yard post, didn't even turn around. His 5th INT, he threw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball right off, at a receiver, maybe 9 yards away and bounced right off his shoulder pads. I would say the break, and that was mentioned, in the post-game presser, is that the break really hurt Wells. He is a freshman, and now here we are with another 2 weeks rest going into play. A havoc-minded, love to pick you off, get into the backfield UAB defense. Rice had 5 quarterback hurries and 3 sacks. Before that game, Rice was outside the top 100 in adjusted sack rate. So I go back to Marshall's strength of schedule at 130. They allowed a team outside the top 100 in adjusted sack rate, and Rice to have 5 hurries and 3 sacks and rattle a freshman, Wells, and throwing 5 interceptions. I'm banking on Bill Clark here. I think it's the more experienced team. They had no problems beating Rice off of a 42-day layoff. Better coach team, in my opinion. I hate to say that against Doc Holliday. They'll be ready for this championship game. I bought UAB at 5. I wouldn't be surprised to see this number drop a little bit before kick.
What is the QB health of UAB right now and expected snaps?
Tyler Johnson is supposed to play. Like he's been cleared, and he said that he's going to start and he's fine. But there was a note in there that Lucerno is going to share some snaps. But Tyler Johnson III was completely cleared.